Money day, guys and girls. You know the vibes, it's lit side. You're tuned in with Learning with Vel, and today I want to share with you guys how I've been able to send out a trade that's given over 750 pips on one trade. That's right, I called it a trade that's given out over 750 pips in one single trade. Now this trade is no other than AUDJPY, a trade that I've always liked for quite some time, because from a higher time frame perspective, when you get into these trades at the right time, they can be really fruitful. And what we're seeing happening right now when it comes to understanding trade in the yen, the Japanese yen, is that the Japanese yen needed to gain some strength. Now, I want to be very short, I want to be very brief, and I want to be very direct. When the markets are selling, you should be thinking about buying. And when the markets are buying, you should be thinking about selling. So for quite some time now, we've seen a continuous decline with the Japanese yen. This is the Japanese yen basket. For those of you who don't know, the Japanese yen basket is pretty much like the DXY. It's going to tell you the strength of the DXY, and it's going to tell you the strength of the Japanese yen, and it's going to help you understand exactly where the strength is when it comes to the Japanese yen. So, of course, I understood that we reached an all-time low, guys. Down here was the all-time low. So the only place that price could go is up, because all the liquidity is above. And the only thing the market wants to do is grab liquidity after it creates liquidity. So, of course, with that being said, I was anticipating a stronger Japanese yen. And when you look at pairs like USD JPY, you can see here this was a 34-year high, which we went past months ago now, right? But price was just continuing to push higher and higher and higher, and it got to a point where I felt like this can't be. We can't just keep climbing and climbing and climbing. But you know what happened? Price eventually started to push down lower, and the reason why is because we saw the strength coming with the Japanese yen. Now, of course, if we look at Euro JPY, if we look at AUD JPY, they're all showing us the same picture. That's why this trade has been beautiful. I'm not gonna lie, trading the Japanese yen, you do need to be patient, guys, because you don't usually get moves taking place, 3 p.m. New York session. You usually might have to wait a bit longer. And because we're looking at AUD JPY as well as Euro JPY, but AUD JPY more specifically, that pair is usually not really moving inside of the times that you might want it to. However, if I said to you that within the 2-week period, okay, which is 10 trading days, in 10 business days, you could make 760 pips on one trade, what would you tell me? Because if you put in £300 from this one trade, you would have made over £4,600 from this one trade, guys. If you had invested £300 into this trade, if your risk was total £300, you would have made over £4,600 from this one trade. So it's really important to understand the significance here of holding trades over a longer term basis. Now, a lot of the time people will come on YouTube and they will say to you, look guys, this is my strategy, it works, buy my stuff. I'm going to give it to you for free, guys. And very simply, I've just told you the Japanese yen basket is something that I pay attention to closely. I also have a look at what's happening from a fundamental perspective. I keep up to date with macro economics. I look at the Japanese yen. Of course, for those of you who don't know, the Japanese yen have had a negative interest rate for over 3 decades. They've just now started to go neutral and push towards a positive interest rate. So that means obviously we was going to have some strength. If you guys go back to one of my previous YouTube videos, I was saying the same thing. I was saying to you guys that the Japanese yen has to grow in strength. It has to. And what we've seen happen, guys, because you have to remember, nothing's going to happen right when you want it to. Just because you see something online on the news regarding a specific currency doesn't mean that you're going to get that reaction straight away. And we didn't. We got a delayed reaction. But of course, that reaction actually told us that from back when we researched and we understood the strength of the Japanese yen was to come in, we started preparing. We started looking for selling signals. So when we have a look at USD JPY here, you might ask me, well, Vel, what is a selling signal here that you would have found with Japanese yen, with the USD JPY? Well, first things first, like I said, we've already surpassed the 34-year high, which is this baby blue line, right? But then when prices come up, We can see up here on the daily, I always say this to students and I'll say this to you guys for free. I've said it on my channel before. When price stops making a new higher high, that is a major indication for price about to change its direction. And what we saw happen here is exactly that. Price came down, it pushed back up, it failed to make a new high, and then this big bearish daily candle came down and closed beneath the previous lows. So actually, when we have a look on the line graph, we can see here these lows was taken out. This is a higher low, this is a higher low. It was taken out, price came down, shallow retracement, and it continued descending. Now, ultimately, guys, price has come down to this 34-year high. It's a significant level of structure, and now price has potentially, well, it has bounced off of it. If it pushes up from it here and makes a new higher high, who knows? We'll have to later find out. But that wasn't important for me because I wasn't trading the US dollar, Japanese yen. I was just looking at the strength of the Japanese yen. So when we go over here and we have a look at the Japanese yen again, when we had this big bearish candle, which you will see on USD JPY, Euro JPY, and AUD JPY, these massive candles, guys, I just sat back and I watched. Sometimes you don't have to catch the move from the very top. You just have to wait for price to play out. Once it plays out, you try to catch the reaction. Now, the reaction was that actually, once price is played out, it's pushed up back into a significant daily structure level, and then price has started pulling down lower. Now, on the smaller time frame, what we can understand here on the 4-hour time frame, I believe it was, is we started seeing price fail. Okay, price pushed up, filled some of the imbalance, it reacted, it came down. I missed this here. I'm not going to lie to you guys, I missed it. But when I saw it, I said, okay, I don't think we're trying to push higher. I think the bearish momentum is taking place now, because when I go back over to the Japanese yen, I'm starting to see us having bullish strength here. I'm starting to see us continuously break these previous highs, and I'm thinking, okay, we're looking good. We're looking good. So going back over to the AUD JPY now, I'm looking at price over here. Price has pushed back up. I've waited for a little bit of this imbalance fill over here on the 4-hour time frame. If I can stretch that so you guys can see it over here. And then we've got into the trade, guys. We've got into the trade. We've had a 35 pip SL because that's what I trade with currency pairs. And guys, 35 pips, we've been able to catch 767 pips. I'll round off at 750 because I told the guys in my chat today to close the trade. So if you're watching this and you're not inside my YouTube, you're not inside my Telegram channel, you should click the link because you can get access to my free channel, which is where I gave this trade away. And from my VIP members, I also, of course, gave them a re-entry on this trade, further information about holding the trade open and seeing how far this could go. So, you know, 767 pips later, we've closed this trade. We've been grateful. We're now on to the next one. If you guys are watching this video, I would really appreciate you guys to smash the like button because it goes a long way. If you don't, that's fine. But at the end of the day, guys, I'm trying to make sure that you guys can stay green and stay lean and make sure you guys are screaming out money day too. So if you guys want to be green like we are here on the charts, we're green in the background because we're trading AUD JPY. I want you guys to stay green. I want you guys to stay positive. So head over to my Discord channel, head over to my Telegram channel. All the links that you need are inside the description below. Thank you for watching. Remember, every day is money day. Peace.